No, no. Well, that was a good start, the phone cut out. So, yeah. So, like I say, 2,400 battle line running through my army. We have 5 direwolves, a spirit host, 3 vargheists, 34 graveguard, a level 4 necromancer, 20 zombies, 6 crypt horrors, a mortis engine with a blasphemous tome, 20 zombies with a level 1 necromancer, 38 ghouls with a vampire lord, and 5 more direwolves. And that's it. For spells, I got, let's see, Invocation of Nehek on both the level 1s, i.e. the Vampire Lord and the Necromancer. And my level 4 got Invocation of Nehek, Gaze of Nagash, Raise Dead, and Van Hale's Stance Macabre. So, all the good stuff. So, pretty happy with that. And that was it. So, I won the roll for deploying first, and I did actually win the roll to go first. So, I'll be going first. So I'm not really sure much advantage to that, other than I get to blow my wizard up before Si does. So, see how that goes. So, I'll hand you over to Si, see what he's got. If I can. Because, so I'll film it and you just run us through it.
Well, do you want me to, it does, I say, it'd just be easier if I use my phone and I can quickly go and copy it onto the USB stick and you can take it home with you.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
Okay, my army is getting there. Unfortunately, I have been a bit lazy of late. Not really painted too much, but I have at least got all the models now I need. Well, the Skaven are being my Noblars for the time being, as they aren't yet assembled, but that won't take too long. But yeah, 2 weeks to go. Got to get my backsiding gear, but I have at least got some stuff painted. So the things for my army is basically I've got a saber tusk. I have an iron blaster. I have a unit of Noblar trappers. I have 3 Mornfang Cav with full command. I have 3 lead belchers. I have a Stonehorn, and you can just see around there as well. I've got another saber tusk. I have a unit of 11 Iron Guts with full command and Lookout Noblar. And there's also my Slaughtermaster in there. I have another 10 Noblar trappers and a unit of Ogre Bulls. There's 8 of them there with full command, and that has my BSB in. So really, things to paint. I'm probably going to change this army up slightly. I'll probably drop a unit of trappers for like a couple of magic items, I think, that I need to tiddle about with. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much, I think, going to be my tournament list that I need to work on painting. So yeah, Ollie won the first turn, so we will see you at the end of Vampire Counts turn 1.
Okay, it's the end of Vampire Counts turn 1, and as you can imagine, a very diverse and interesting turn. I just moved my stuff forward a little bit, and then we went to the magic. So in the magic phase, I just cast an invocation, which signed it through, just raising up some more zombies. Then I cast a Raise Dead, which I attempted to dispel and unfortunately failed, only by 1. I will also use the Law attribute from the first spell to heal up the Mortis Engine, who did actually roll a double 2 for its regen, which is enough to reach all these units, but did take a wound. So that got healed. Yeah, and with the Raise Dead, I was going to put it over here, but obviously it's out of range, it has to be within 18, so I just plonked them over here. The reason I put them like that is because they were just within the 18, so I didn't want them in front of the ghouls. So I thought I'd create the unit there and just reform them later. Obviously they are leadership 10 at the moment because they're right near the general, so although they don't actually have musicians, so maybe they can't, I don't know. Either way, so create a unit of zombies, plonk them over there, then I cast another invocation with my remaining dice and got some more zombies. So I've pretty much maxed out all the ones I painted now. on the first turn. So yeah, so I've got like 2 40-man zombie units now, which is quite nice with a 6-up regen. So the Vargeist moved up here to just threaten the Iron Blaster, and generally be annoying. Dogs moved up as fast as they could. These ones stayed where they were, and that was it. So no one died. In fact, the dead have come back to life, so it's like on boast. I actually have more guys than when I started, so see if I can equal that out by killing some of these guys off. So yeah, so that's the end of my turn 1.
Okay, it's the end of Ogres turn 1. Everyone moved up a little bit. Well, only my chaff moved. Everyone else just sort of wheeled around slightly. This stayed still. They moved up. The Iron Blaster actually charged the Vargeists and destroyed them in combat, reformed. Basically figuring that there was a little point taking a shot because with the position they were in, the position that these guys were in, it was very, very unlikely that I was actually going to get to use it anyway. So now I'm pretty much figuring that it's going to get taken out of the game by the Spirit Host. So yeah, it's a bit of a piss bag, but that's what Ollie takes Spirit Host for, which is fair enough. So yeah, in the shooting phase, I tried to shoot at the Crypt Horrors, rolled pretty terribly. Then I tried to shoot the Mortis Engine with the Bolt Thrower on this guy. Actually, I just thought he doesn't have a Bolt Thrower.
Doesn't it?
He doesn't, because Bolt Thrower is a 10-point upgrade.
Oh, right.
So if I want him to have a Bolt Thrower, I'm probably going to modify the list anyway to get rid of one of the units of Noblar Trappers, so I can take maybe a magic item or 2 extra. But part of that 10 points of that is going to be spent, I think, on a Bolt Thrower for this guy. So I must remember that. So yeah, that didn't actually do anything, because even though I hit and wounded, Ollie made his save. So yeah, must remember that doesn't have a Bolt Thrower. So okay, well that was pretty much it. I didn't opt to have a magic phase, as the only thing that would have been in range was, well, the only thing I could have cast really was the Maw, and I would have to have hoped it scattered. That would be a pretty dangerous proposition, so I decided against it. So with that, yeah, you know, that's pretty much everything that happened. So I didn't lose my general on the first turn, and I actually managed to kill some stuff. So yeah, all in all, a pretty damn good turn. So it's now time for Vampire Counts turn 2.
Okay, it's the end of Vampire Counts turn 2. Another exciting turn. I moved up a bit further. Obviously, I'm not too keen on him charging me. He's been a bit cagey at the moment, so I thought I'd do the same. No real hurry to get over there. So far it's going pretty well with the whittling down of his support units, as you can see over here. Because at the start of the turn I declared a charge with the dogs into his saber tusk and the Spirit Host into his cannon. And everything else just kind of like shuffled around. The Mortis Engine got quite a big pulse, but it still hit the same units it did before. Just out of range of these zombies over here. Zombies unfortunately were too close to reform them, so I just moved them to the side a bit. So they charged those. Then in the magic phase, I rolled a 7, and so I had 5. So I cast a Raised Dead and created 10 zombies here, just to face off his Noblars. Then I decided not to cast anything else, so I still had 5 dice. And if I gave them the gash, then I might kill or panic them off, which would be bad because then it would allow his Mornfang to charge the zombies. So I've left it like that. So ended the magic phase. Then in the close combat phase, so there's no shooting, the wolves didn't do anything to the saber tusk, and he ran away, but not quite off the board. And then the Spirit Host managed to do 2 wounds to the Iron Blaster, amazingly. Well, actually did 3 wounds, but he saved one of them. And sent it packing. Unfortunately, I failed to catch it, so I was amazed by that. So I was expecting it. Yes, that's going pretty well. But like I said, it's probably better for Si as well, because now he's got a chance to get away from the Spirit Host. Because obviously before it was going to be locked in there forever. So, yeah. So, not bad. It's a pretty good turn. Like I say, quite cagey, but Si's been quite cagey as well. And if I can take out this cannon, all I've got to worry about really in terms of his shooting is his lead belchers, which I'm not overly bothered about. And now he doesn't have a bolt thrower. I'm over the moon. So yeah, so we have to see what happens in Ogres turn 2.
Okay, it's the end of Ogres turn 2, and yeah, a fair bit happened. Moved guys up a little bit. I had to charge the Noblars in. The Sabertusk ran away over there, but the Iron Blaster we managed to reform. Then yeah, the magic phase. I cast Troll Guts on the Iron Guts. Ollie led it through. And then I went to cast the Maw, rolled really high. Ollie managed to get 3 6s.
Yeah, it was doing him a favour.
It was, because then we tested out to see what would happen, and I rolled a misfire on the artillery dice. So, yeah, that would have been pretty terrible. But yeah, the other than that, they went straight to close combat. And yeah, the Noblars actually got owned by the zombies big time. They did 3 wounds to the zombies, but the zombies came back and did 5 wounds to the Noblars. Won the combat by 1. And yeah, managed to chase them down and butcher them where they stood. So yeah, the mighty Noblars are no more on that side of the battlefield. And other than that, that was pretty much it for turn 2. So we'll now go on to Vampire Counts turn 3.
Okay, it's in the Vampire Counts turn 3. So I declared to charge my Spirit Host into the cannon again. So I held and that was pretty much it for charges. Then movement, I just moved everything up. The zombies moved up a little bit. These zombies moved a bit further forward to redirect the Mournfang, just annoy them really. These dogs moved up just out of sight of the, well, not necessarily out of sight, but they just moved up to the side there. And these dogs moved up as well. So that was it for movement. Then magic phase, I rolled a 3, so I got 2. No channels either side. So I just threw all 3 at Gaze in the Gash, got it off, rolled really high. Cost it his dog, so rolled 2d6, got 6, and rolled them, and all of them fell to wound. So I didn't do a single wound, which is quite annoying, really. You know, it's like the perfect opportunity to get rid of it, as it's an uncontested spell, so it doesn't have a scroll. So, but no, it didn't go through. So that was really, well, didn't wound anyway. And then in close combat, the Spirit Host beat the cannon because it had a flank and a charge. It didn't actually do any wounds. The cannon fled again, and I pursued and failed to catch it. That was it. So it's the end of my turn 3. Heading into Ogre's turn 3 now.
Okay, it's the end of turn 3. This isn't actually snow going upwards, as you're seeing on the screen. It's actually fluff from the rather furry rug that my mum has on the floor. But yeah, basically I had to charge the Mournfang into the zombies to get rid of them, and they duly only just wiped them out. Oh, we never tested for him, did we?
Yeah.
We better do that now, otherwise could be seeing him going for the hills. So, oh dear. So, yeah.
Well, he was never going to get away from the Spirit Host anyway, was he?
No, unfortunately not, but would have at least liked to see him there. Yeah, so he's just legged it. I would have, however, preferred the Spirit Host to have been also out of action. Unfortunately, it isn't, which could now be a very big problem, as I only have one magic weapon in this entire army. So yeah, that should be very interesting now. But yeah, quite disappointing. But yeah, we'll have to now see what happens there. So yeah, everyone else moved around. In the shooting phase, I shot at his mortis engine, put a wound on it. Then in the magic phase, I managed to cast Troll Guts and Toothcracker on the iron guts, and Ollie dispelled them all with another double 6. And that was pretty much it for my turn 3. So it's now on to Vampire Count's turn 4.
Okay, it's the end of Vampire Count's turn 4. So I got aggressive. Obviously, 3 turns of being stagnant. Decided to get this game moving. Although I think it was time anyway. So I declared a charge with the Graveguard into his Saber Tusk. I declared a charge with the Ghouls into his Noblars, and the Crypt Horrors into his Stonehorn. And everything else kind of moved up, as you can see it. These zombies moved up to redirect the balls. These unfortunately could only move 9, so they just moved up as best they could. It would have been lovely if I could actually redirect them instead, but it didn't happen. And this guy just turned around and moved a bit that way. Mortis Engine just moved up a bit. Everything else, like I say, as you can see it. Then in the magic phase, I rolled 9 dice. So I used 3 to cast a Gaze and a Gash. No, I didn't. It was out of range, wasn't it? Oh no, I did cast it. I cast it on the Iron Guts. Unfortunately, I forgot they were all buffed up, so did nothing to them. Then I cast a Raised Dead, which I dispelled. And then I cast a Van Hales on these guys. Might as well put the card next to them. Just so to make sure I could kill those Noblars. So that was that. And then, yeah, so that was all for magic. And then in close combat, the Graveguard handily took out the Saber Tusk. The Ghouls, well, the Vampire Lord killed 8 of the Noblars by himself, and then we just reasoned that the Ghouls were going to kill him because obviously they're re-rolling to hit. So yeah, so we just wiped them out and just reformed. And the real success story was these guys for not only just making an average charge, which is unheard of. They went straight into the Stonehorn. Obviously went before it because they're higher initiative. And I rolled an insane amount of poison attacks.
8 poison attacks.
Yeah, 8 poison, and a few others. I only managed to get 1 other wound through. So I had 9 wounds on him, and he made his arm saves. Unfortunately, failed enough for it to actually die. So he died outright, and I just reformed. So that was that really made up for those horrible Gaze and the Gashes earlier.
Yeah.
But I was expecting to win the combat, but not actually to just slaughter him like that. It was really nice because then I obviously got to reform without having to worry about restrain tests and that. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, so I made a move and it seems to be going quite well so far. So we'll have to see what I can do about that in his turn 4.
Yes, the end of Ogre's turn 4. Pretty terrible turn for the Ogres, unfortunately. Yeah, basically everyone sort of charged in. The Mornfang managed to, wipe out nearly half the Graveguard unit, but that wasn't enough, and they were killed to the man in return. The Bulls charged in, wiped out all the zombies, reformed, and the Iron Guts charged in, lost half their number, pretty much, but managed to wipe out just over half the unit in return. So unfortunately, that's probably not going to be enough to keep them up. But I did manage to get a Spy Marrow off, which I will definitely be needing this turn if there's any guys left. So yeah, with that, I think the writing's pretty much on the wall. So we'll see if I can wrap this up next turn.
Okay, it's the end of Vampire Counts turn 5, and it went pretty well. So I charged the Crypt Horrors into the bulls. I was going to charge it into the flank of the Iron Guts, but I decided to be a bit more sporting, and charge it into the bulls, hoping that the Vampire Lord with his ghouls could sort those guys out. I did actually attempt to charge the Graveguard into the flank, but unfortunately they failed. And everything else, as you can see it, I just moved the dogs away. Didn't really have any use for them. Didn't want them to get shot up by the lead belchers. This guy just moved towards the building. The dogs moved up here. Then in the magic phase, I attempted to Van Hales, which I dispelled, and then I just used my remaining dice, because I had 11 dice, including a channel, and cast several invocations, in fact 3 invocations, and got a large chunk of my ghouls back, so that was excellent. Although without the rerolls to hit, they're not quite as good, but it would certainly stop them crumbling enough to start affecting the vampire. So we fought the combat. Yeah, that was all. Yeah, so we fought the combat. My vampire actually killed 10. Oh, didn't kill 10 ogres, but it did 10 wounds. They all hit and all wounded. So, and obviously the Red Fury. Then so Slaughtermaster went, managed to jib a ghoul, and then the ghouls that could attack the Slaughtermaster did so. Managed to do another wound to him, so he had 1 left. And then the remaining ghouls killed the rest of the unit. So they were dead to a man. So it was just the Slaughtermaster left with 1 wound. So I broke and I pursued and caught them. So his general was now dead. And then in this combat, I came in, managed to do 3 wounds. Then in return he managed to do nothing. So actually won the combat by 2. But he passed his break test by rolling 6. So he was fine there. And that's the end of Vampire Counts turn 5.
Right, it is the end of Ogres turn 5. I'm just going to zoom in slightly. Basically, yeah, that's the. It is pretty much the end of the game. It's been a pretty. It was a pretty brutal turn with Ollie's net gains in his last turn, with him being able to heal back all of his guys. It meant that I wasn't able to gain purchase on his ghouls over there, and yeah, he basically, since they were practically back to full strength, didn't really manage to do much, as he managed to wipe me out to the man, leaving only my general, who promptly failed his stubborn 8 and was fled and caught by a load of hungry, well, probably not so hungry ravening ghouls, since they've got a big load of ogres to eat. So they're probably going to go and sit down under a tree and digest the epic meal. The bulls that were there, who were fighting the Crypt Horrors that you can see, they were they did 7 wounds. The Crypt Horrors did 7 wounds to the bulls, and bulls did 2 back. I rolled terribly to attack, and yeah, they promptly they needed a 4 or less. Even the BSB reroll, they failed and they ran and were caught. So that pretty much just left the lead belchers in the building there to sit and survey the battlefield, and decided that they were pretty screwed and they should probably go home. So yeah, a bit of a mad game. It was very well played by Ollie. I'll put it back to the full battlefield. Yeah, it was a good game. It's a tough old list. The Vampire Counts are very, very difficult to beat. Ollie's not exactly, well, they're not. I wouldn't say it's a soft list, but at the same time, it's not like the crazy, stupid lists that you can see sort of in a lot of other battle reports and from tournaments. So, sort of one of those things where you have to really get in his face and attack both of his big units, sort of as quick as you can to stop him from being able to concentrate all of his magical ability on healing. which is then his army's greatest strength, is just the ability to weather attack better than pretty much anything else. Like you saw last turn, he got off a couple of invocations. I wasn't really able to do anything about it, and yeah, he got back pretty much all of his guys. So it's bad. You kill 17 of his unit and he gets back 12. It's pretty harsh. So yeah, there's sort of nothing really that could be done there. It's just he outmaneuvered me. I think a little bit of poor deployment choice in I think, well, my personal feeling was that I was a bit of an idiot. I forgot about his spirit host, and the spirit host is always there. Ollie doesn't take he doesn't spirit host spam like a lot of people do, but the one is just there, which is quite effective in taking out sort of any unit. It works great against my Iron Blaster, just simply because I can't wound it back. I've got no way of getting through it, so it actually gave me 2 opportunities to escape its wrath, but unfortunately I wasn't able to take sort of take full advantage. But at least it did something, and it killed the only unit I actually managed to destroy in the whole game, which was the Vargeists, who just sort of steamed forward and got chewed up for their just got sort of chewed up for their efforts. So yeah, it was, like I say, it was pretty tough. But it's those bloody crypt horrors are so nasty. And I think it shows that I've got no way of dealing with anything with any kind of regen. Not that that's usually too much issue, but yeah, this is what I need. Should have deployed the magical cat of death and destiny. Although he's quite dangerous and bitey, so he probably would have done more damage to me than it would have done to Ollie. But no, it's I don't know. I don't think I lost simply because I didn't have the banner of the Eternal Flame or anything like that. I think a lot of it was just down to quite a nice polished performance by Ollie. Well used. He used the chaff to the maximum ability. What hurt me, I think, the most in the whole game was him actually using the zombies to chaff up my bulls unit, because the bulls and the iron guts going into his general's unit, I'm pretty confident I could have chopped his unit up and gotten rid of his general, which would have been great.
That's the zombies with the Noblars as well, and the held you up the Mornfang.
Well, that was a good point. Because the idea was that the Noblars were off for redirecting. Noblars are great, but they're bloody slow. Which is,
they all seem to be in your way.
Well, it's the trouble is that they are very, very slow, and the ogres are fast. It's kind of like having, in a cavalry army, having foot troops as your chaff, and it's a bit annoying. But that's just the way it is. I mean, I had planned originally my sort of plan was to try and use the Mornfang and the Stonehorn to attack the Graveguard, use the 2 ogre units to attack the ghouls, wipe them out in swift order, and then sort of turn around and get his crypt horrors. But trouble was his crypt horrors were a bit rapid, and
yeah, they made an average charge, which is unheard of.
They made a higher than average charge.
Oh yeah, it was wasn't it?
Well, they needed an 8, and you got a bloody 9 as well. So yeah, it was this whole Ollie making charges, I don't like. I much preferred it when he couldn't make a.
I sat back and pounded you with the artillery.
No, I liked it when you would constantly fail like ridiculously unfailable charges and give me great charging opportunities. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, one can't base a strategy on your opponent not making charges.
Well, my strategy is when you're not hitting anything with a cannon.
Yeah, but that's to be fair, that's a lot more tried and tested. That's 3 years of that. To be fair, for 2 years, I don't think you ever made a charge.
I didn't even bother.
So yeah, it was. But yeah, it's a tough game. Nothing dirty, beardy, ridiculous about the. Well, to be fair, about either army. There was no gut star, no stupid amount of Mornfang. So they're just.
I certainly hope there was nothing crazy. I know the Vampire Lord's quite powerful, but at the end of the day, I like. I think that the army needs to be led by a martial character. I don't like the idea of wizards leading the army. So.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the normal vampires are only leadership 7, so you can't really have those as a general. So
yeah,
if you can have one, then you might as well tool them up.
Yeah. And yeah, there's sort of. I think with the ogres, I think I most suffered from not being able to get my guys going as quick as I would have liked. Ideally, I should have moved up a lot more aggressively in turn 1, and then prepared for the charge. And then I think a dispel scroll would be nice in this army, but wouldn't be the be all and end all. So. Because
I think Ratzel's more useful.
It is, yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame that Dispel Scrolls are so, you're always sort of obligated to take one.
Yeah.
But
well, that's kind of it. I mean, in a bigger ogre army, the kind of thing I normally would have taken would have been probably a level 1 or a level 2 with the Dispel Scroll. Or a Hellheart if I was feeling particularly naughty. But the Hellheart is a terrible magic item.
Yeah, I think you probably would have won this game with that alone.
Well, it's the kind of thing where I just charge up, like you said. You can you get a flying carpet in the Hellheart, fly your guy forward, detonate the Hellheart, and Law of Death flying forward. Send a purple sun down the column, have great fun like that, and then Hellheart in his turn, and then just sit there laughing until your opponent jumps the table and sprays your teeth about the room. But yeah, that's not for this particular tournament we're going to. I wouldn't particularly like to use that tactic. I must admit, the only time...
I hesitate to use the term tactic as well.
Well, it is.
What you've got to do is write it on a piece of paper where your list is. Can you win the game?
Yeah. Well, having seen how devastating it was against the Beastmen,
that was horrendous.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. Because obviously with Beastmen being all clustered around that herdstone, yeah, it was horrific. And yeah, without any buffs, the Beastmen fall a bit short. But yeah, it was a good game. I don't think luck at all ruined it. Although I did have a slight whinge when he rolled fucking 8 poisoned attacks with 18 attacks.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But
that was pretty amazing, actually, wasn't it?
I don't think it changed. I don't think it changed the outcome.
The stone one anyway.
Yeah.
It would have fled.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. But yeah, that was my fault. I moved the Stonehorn a bit too far forward for my liking. But then again, considering he made a 9-inch charge, I like to consider that if I can get like a distance of 9 inches or more, sort of that's the perfect amount. But because he can equal my charge range. Certainly with his crypt horrors, it's always something worth bearing in mind, because normally ogres enjoy a bit of an advantage over other movements, but well, except for cavalry. But yeah, not with the crypt horrors, which I think was the reason why I was so hesitant, because I was always very fearful of what was going to happen with those crypt horrors getting in, and without that way of dealing with this 4-up regen, it was pretty nasty. So yeah, all in all, rather a nice game. I think there's going to be a few minor tweaks to my list before I take it to the tournament, although nothing that's going to require more models to paint. In fact, it's going to be less models to paint, because I'm probably going to ditch one of my units of Noblar Trappers and go with probably just go with the 1 unit of 10. So that's only 10 I have to assemble and paint rather than 20. So with that, we will leave you and see you next time. Although we'll let Ollie have his glorious enjoyment of the win.